try this mail-order laser scope.
Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
Okay, so now here we have it, the last of what I call the Jarvis Trilogy. Now, if you need a recap, it basically spans, or not basically, it does span from Chapter 4, 5, and then ends at Part 6, Jason Lives. Tommy ironically ends the threat in the final chapter, only to start a whole new bag of problems by digging him up. I'll get into that. It's the best of the Zombie Friday movies. Some argue that Part 8 is, where Jason basically turns into Raiden and can teleport. I'll get to that too. There's a lot to make fun of, but it's a great thrill ride for a slasher, touched with a little bit of humor, some cute side stories, and of course, people getting completely mashed. The formula essentially stays the same. Camp, teens, sex, although no nudity for some reason. That's odd. Then Jason wakes up with a bolt of lightning, like Frankenstein. There's plenty I have to say about this one, mostly in fun, and it is still a favorite, but come on, this one's an easy target. So this is the last one that Paramount didn't screw up. I guess, I don't know what your feelings are on Part 7. Part 8 is kind of open for debate. A lot of people like that movie. But, okay, fine, Part 6. In my eyes, the last one that Paramount didn't screw up. But one thing is, why start off the movie with a dog eating roadkill? Like, I'm going to put my popcorn down now, okay? Thanks for that, but the popcorn is now on the ground. I'm done with eating from the movie. Wow. So why is Tommy going back after all this time anyways? Like, I mean, he's been away for, like, well, first of all, he's, like, 12, and then a couple years later, he's, like, 28 or whatever. So, I don't know how that makes sense. But anyways, he brings him back the mask. Like, why? And how did he get the mask in the first place? Like, was it a souvenir given to him by, like, the cops after the first one? He didn't have it in Part 5, as far as I know, or maybe he did. Was that in the movie? I don't know. Who cares? But why bring it back to him? Like, I mean, that's like bringing, like, let's say, like, Hannibal Lecter may or may not be dead. It's a different story. But you, like, bring him back as knives, like, cut your face off and wear, not exactly the same, but still a little bit screwed up. So, anyways, nice. So, let's dig him up. Because, I mean, you have to know it's a bad idea, Tommy. You're digging him up. He's fine there. But, okay, so let's dig him up. And, one thing I can say, though, is the gravestone, at least, is not in chalk, although it looks a little bit weathered, so I'm wondering how long it's been there, because concrete doesn't usually, I don't know, maybe they use some sort of cheap thing for him. I don't know, but it gets pretty awesome. Like, everything just gets totally messed up. He comes back, like, Frankenstein style with, like the lightning bolt, and then, Jason takes out Oz, Mortal Kombat fatality style, and then, the James Bond thing hits, and then boom, we got Part 6, so let's roll. So Tommy's big plan fails. I mean, the guy's dead, but Tommy's big plan for, like, closure, maybe he got this from therapy session, but like, who would say, you know what, go dig him. What other, like, circumstances have you ever heard of where, like, a therapist, so this is his own idea, right? So he's gonna go there to burn the guy. Okay, fine. So he digs him up, right? Everyone's already thinking, stupid. But okay, so he's digging him up, whatever. And then he gets all pissed or has some, like, weird flashback, and he's like, whatever. So Part 5 is still carrying on. And then he just, like, goes ape on him, like, with this, I don't know, rod. And he's, like, just going nuts. And I kind of felt for him there. I'm like, let it out, Tommy. Let it all out. So, like, why is Tommy, like, such a bitch in this one? Tommy used to be awesome. I mean, like, he went from this kind of, like, fun-loving, cute kid or whatever, right? And remember that part where he's checking out, like, the girl across, kind of getting naked, getting busy with whatever, and all that stuff was cute. And he was, like, the hero. And then in Part 5, he's, like, completely mental. But he's, like, mental but a ninja. In this one, he just turns into a total, like, fuck-up with plans that never should have been made. And then he gets shoved around like a total bitch the whole movie. Like, he can't even drive the car that Megan, offered him or whatever. Megan does try to help Tommy, but at what point is she taking her father's word over Tommy? Like, she doesn't know Tommy, right? And her dad's like, he's a psychopathic killer and all this stuff, and she's just like, oh, he's so cute and all this stuff, right? Like, there might be cause for concern. Like, he's in the jail cell, and you don't have any other information, but, you're like, oh, he's cute, and your friends are like, oh, he's so cute. So, like, whatever. And then later on, she's like, yeah, sure, I'll meet you at this old creepy gas station. I'll help you out and get your supplies. Like, imagine what she's thinking too. He's like, yeah, I need some rope and stuff like that. Rope, gas station, middle of nowhere, potential murderer. Man, what a risk taker this chick is. But, you know, I love her. But one thing's for sure is you wouldn't want her as a getaway driver. Let's just point that out here and you'll see why.
Okay, there's one.
So let's get to the kills. I think the best one for me was the backbreak of the sheriff, because like it just shows like immense power. The only thing about that is I felt bad for Megan because, you know, whatever. But so it's her father. But a second one, the second death that's on par with that almost is like that ninja knife throw. That was pretty cool. Court's death always disturbed me. That knife through the head is just, you know, it's just so creepy, you know, like, or not creepy, but like, could you imagine? Well, I guess it wouldn't last too long, you'd be dead, but I don't know, it always disturbed me. The chick that he was banging or whatever, I don't know what her name was, I love the part where he just like grabs her head and like shoves it through the side of the RV or whatever, and if you slow it down, it kind of looks like the T-1000 coming out of the side of the truck. I don't know, maybe you see it, maybe you don't, I'm not sure. Kind of sad to see like the graveyard guy going, like, yes, he was always funny, you know, digging the hole, saying like, I'm a goddamn high school graduate, I can't do his accent, but he's like, I deserve this job and all that. So, and then, you know, walking down, he throws the thing up into the air and Jason gets it and kills him or whatever. So he was actually kind of a funny character, almost reminded me of like Crazy Ralph a bit. Shortly after though, like, Jason kills two. So if you think about it, Jason gets like the singles, the doubles, and even at one point, a triple. So I averaged out the big three for baseball just for the hell of it. Michael, Jason, and Freddy in terms of, like I was saying, baseball. So let's break it down. Jason gets extra base hits quite often. Freddy, not as much, but he hits for average. Good leadoff man. Michael, more of a power hitter, but he can be a little bit streaky. But the fun part here is, Michael has 111 kills over 10 movies, averaging 11.1 kills per movie. Jason has 168 kills over 12 movies, averaging 14 kills per movie. Freddy brings up the rear at 43 victims over 8 movies, not including New Nightmare, on an average of 5 kills per movie. In the year of 2006, with all the slashers coming out, this might make for an interesting fantasy slasher league opportunity for some horror pals. Think about it. Some of the kills, like the two girls in the cabin, I forget the name, Paula and whatever, it said Baker on the back of her shirt. They're pretty weak sauce kills. Like, you know, she gets pulled in through the window. You don't really see much. Like her head gets ripped off or whatever. You know, so whatever. But the other one is just like a splash of paint on the window. Like, come on, try a little bit harder than that. I mean, I can do that on my window right here. So I don't know. That didn't do it for me. But all the kills that happened in like that getaway retreat for that the business, like the salesman and stuff like that, I'm glad every single one of them are dead, because like it's just such a pompous, elitist thing for those companies to do, like go on the retreats and stuff like that. It's just, so I'm glad they're all dead. And then the one guy with the pellet, yeah, that'll do the trick. My only concern with an almost kill was Jason when he was crushing Megan's head. Like I'm like, no, don't do it, right? And then, you know, Tommy does the only thing that I found useful in this movie at all, and he actually distracts Jason. And, you know, like, here's my reaction watching that. That was a close one. The characters, for the most part, were pretty good. I mean, I think my favorite is Court, besides Megan. So check out Court here.
Anything about Indians, okay? Probably none of you do. Look, here's a story. These are called Indian markers, okay? Let's just say you have a chief, right? And he dumps his squaw or his wife or whatever, and he decides, hey, I'm going to pick up with another one. I'm going to take off with her. So he takes off, leaving his son with the mother, and all of a sudden, you know, a week or two later, the son wants to catch up with his dad, right? He wants to learn how to shoot a bow, stuff, you know, kill buffalo, whatever these guys do. So what happens is he comes along, sees the rock, says, Dad, hey, he went that way, obviously. And so what happens is he comes up, knocks them all down before the mother catches up.
I mean, how do you not love this guy? That is the most hilarious. You know, whatever these guys do, he is just so funny. The rest were okay. I mean, the dad was alright. He played a pretty good dick. I liked Paula because she was kind of kind. But the rest, including Tommy, weren't great, with the exception of Megan. But actually, there were some parts that were really cool. Like the graveyard scene when he's digging up whatever, he turns to the camera and he breaks what's called the fourth wall. Now, I've seen this done only in The Omen with horror movies. It's most often done with comedy. You know, they kind of like, they're doing a joke and then they shift their gaze over the camera as if to let you in on the joke. But in any other genre, I never see that. Like, you'd never see that in Titanic, like, iceberg right ahead, or fuck. Like, you'd never see that in a movie like that. So, I thought that was kind of funny. And a little bit, I was worried that it like, looking at that, if I was writing it, that it would take you out of the script, or take you out of the movie, kind of like, you know, you're into it, and then it makes it self-aware, but it worked for the movie, so I had no problem with it. It was kind of funny. Two funny facts I wanted to kind of bring up. I'm sure most of you know this, but this Friday is actually the only one that doesn't have nudity in it at all. Like, you don't see boobies or a nice butt shot or anything like that. Which you don't need nudity to necessarily include a nice butt shot, as number 2 pointed out. But it's also the only one where kids actually show up to the camp. Because at no other point were kids at the camp. It was always counselors, I guess, prepping for the summer. But anyways, there's actually one more thing that I wanted to discuss, and everybody knows this from every friggin' horror movie there is. Why can't people run? This woman that trips over at the beginning of the puddle always made me laugh. Like, I mean, she looks like such a doofus. And yeah, nice plug there, Amex. You know, don't leave home without it, I guess. So Tommy's stupid ass idea doesn't work from the beginning, which was obvious. So he reads some like a cult book because obviously they're reliable. So now the new plan is to return Jason back to his rightful resting place, as if this is some ghost movie. You know, in ghost movies where there's like some ghosts and they gotta get like skeletons and put it. But he's not even dead, so whatever. Anyways, so that's the way the movie rolled on. So I don't know how the hell that would work, and it obviously didn't because whatever. So Megan has to come over and, you know, save his stupid ass. It's just such a dumbass idea. And then it led on to all these sequels and it extended Jason's life for hundreds of years if you include Jason X. But you know what I'm pissed off about is, as lovely as this girl is, how in the hell did she fall for Tommy? Why does Tommy get this girl? Come on, man. There's one girl I absolutely hate. I know she's a kid, but whatever.
There's this monster, and he was after me, and he wanted to kill me.
Man, there's a monster under my bed. Man. Like, shut the fuck up, man, and go to bed. I don't know. Maybe I'm an ass.
Other than being all ass.
I love this part here where Jason shows up to the camp and says, like, Camp Forest Green. And he's probably thinking something like, yeah, nice marketing plan, but you're all still fucked. But that, you know, okay, hold on. What is the motivation for keeping this camp going? I mean, it's been burnt down, there's been deaths and everything like that, and then they try to bury it all by calling it Camp Forest Green and kind of erase Jason from this town, whatever, you know? So, that brings me to my next point. Okay, so there's a part when Megan and all her friends, they're in, like, the sheriff's office or whatever, and Tommy's in jail, whatever, you know the scene. And he's like, yeah, Jason's a legend and things like that. And the kids kind of do but don't know about it. And I was like, whoa. Let's not go down the Elm Street route where nobody knows who Jason is and all that, because I'm glad they stopped that. They kind of did turn it into a legend later on, like even in part 8 and stuff like that, but they didn't push it. So at least kids aren't completely oblivious to what this guy is, okay? So anyways, that being said, let's just go to a voiceover on my final thoughts on the Jarvis trilogy. This obviously only being the 6th one. I got some more to do. But this kind of caps my faves. This is the end point. So here are my final thoughts. It's an interesting evolution to a character. It's almost like the Thorn trilogy, you know, from the Halloween series, although you can't exclude this one from the series. It's strange. I don't hear Jarvis trilogy more often because it is what it is, and there's no way I made that up because someone else has noticed it as well. Tommy goes from being a fun-loving kid in Part 4 and has a traumatic experience in Part 5, so understandably he's messed up in that movie, not knowing if he killed that chick or not. I guess he didn't because he's out on the loose, and then fumbles up a plan that made no sense to begin with. That being said, it is a little fun to see Jason go unstoppable and power up for a while. For a bit. It works for this movie, but forever changed what we know of Jason, forgetting that he started from a more vulnerable character development.
Kathleen, you led me astray.
I'm a teenage Frankenstein.